They say silence is empty, but for one man in ancient Japan, silence was everything. His name was Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai who never lost a duel. More than 60 battles, and every opponent who faced him fell. But this is not a story of blood and blades. It's a story of calm, of a warrior who mastered not just the sword, but the silence between each swing. Musashi was born in the late 1500s, in a time of chaos. Japan was divided, clans at war, honor written in blood. Young samurai sought glory through battle cries and reputation. But Musashi was different. He was quiet, too quiet, they said. He trained alone, fought alone, lived alone. When others chased fame, he chased discipline. When others shouted, he listened, and that listening became his weapon. His first duel came when he was just 13. His opponent was a seasoned swordsman, confident, loud, certain of his victory. Musashi said nothing. The man mocked him, insulted him, tried to provoke rage. But Musashi remained still. When the fight began, Musashi didn't even draw his sword at first. He waited. He observed. And when the man finally rushed forward, Musashi moved only once. Swift, precise, silent. The fight was over before the man's words stopped echoing. That silence, that patience, became Musashi's philosophy. He understood that most people are ruled by noise, by the noise of pride, the noise of fear, the noise of ego demanding attention. A man who reacts to every insult, every rumor, every provocation becomes predictable. But a man who stays silent becomes unreadable, and the unreadable man wins. Musashi wandered Japan for decades, refusing to serve any lord. He became a ronin, a masterless samurai. Some called him arrogant, others said he was mad. Yet he carried no banner, no symbol, no fame, only his discipline. He studied calligraphy, painting, strategy, and the flow of rivers. Because he believed, to master the sword, one must first master the self. And mastery of self begins with silence. Many of his opponents tried to break that silence. Some screamed insults before duels. Others tried to humiliate him with public challenges. Musashi would arrive late on purpose, calm, barefoot, carrying only a wooden sword. His enemies, already boiling with anger, would swing wildly. But anger is noise, and noise makes you blind. In contrast, Musashi's stillness was devastating. He could see openings others couldn't. He could strike when the heart of his enemy was most distracted. Toward the end of his life, Musashi wrote a small book, The Book of Five Rings. It wasn't about sword techniques, as many expected. It was about mindset. He wrote, "The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. In other words, true strength is restraint. True control is calmness under chaos. A noisy man fights because he must prove himself. A silent man fights only when necessary, and therefore never truly loses. When Musashi grew old, he retired to a cave in the mountains. He called it Ryangondo, the Spirit Rock Cave. There he lived in near total silence. He meditated, wrote, and reflected on the nature of existence. Imagine it, the most feared swordsman in Japan, sitting alone in the dark, listening only to the wind. That was Musashi's final lesson. Because when a man learns to sit quietly with himself, no noise, no audience, no validation, he becomes unbreakable. Today, the world is louder than ever. We live in constant battle. Notifications, arguments, opinions. Everyone wants to be seen, to be right, to be heard. But strength is not in how loud you shout, it's in how deeply you understand. Silence is not weakness. Silence is precision. It's self-command. It's the pause before mastery. So what can we learn from Musashi? That silence isn't about muting your voice. It's about sharpening your awareness. It's choosing not to react to every noise that demands your attention. It's training your mind to wait until the moment is right, and then acting with full clarity. Silence gives birth to timing. Timing gives birth to power. Musashi's life ended the same way he lived it, quietly. No grand farewell, no final duel. Just a man, alone, writing his final words by candlelight. From one thing, no 10,000 things. To understand yourself deeply is to understand the world completely. So remember this: be calm when others are loud. Be patient when others rush. Be silent when others speak only to be seen. Because silence is not the absence of sound. It's the presence of control. Power is quiet. Discipline is invisible. Be like Musashi, calm, unreadable, unstoppable.